Hello, and thank you for joining. My name is Kenny Mitchum with the Charleston Dent Company out of Charleston, South Carolina. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about how we take a dent out of a door, right? I was eating with my guy Colby Carlin on Friday, and Colby is a young guy. He's very enthusiastic, has the whole world at his feet, super smart guy. And he was asking me about a dent that I took out. I put it online. It was a very, very bad dent in a fender of a Volkswagen car. It was really bad. And I told him that I would put up a video, right? And so that's what I'm doing right now. I also want to show you guys how it's done. And before we get started, if you guys could please like and subscribe. I didn't realize how much it helps our algorithms whenever you subscribe to our channel. So please, please, please like and subscribe down below. Just scroll down, take a second, just hit that button. It helps us, all right? Also, visit us at charlestonpdr.com. It's a very, very, very well put together website that my guy Mike Toledo put together. And it's a very, very, very good website. You will really, really enjoy it. It has a lot of good stuff on there that you will enjoy. Come visit us at instagram.com/CharlestonPDR. Also, come visit us at TikTok at Charleston_Dent_company. This is probably one of my favorite promotions and platforms that I'm a part of. I just like posting on TikTok. So I put a lot of time and a lot of effort into that, and you will enjoy it. There's a lot of good stuff on there. And then the last thing is give me a shout, right? 460-8458. You can call me anytime. I even answer the phone on the weekends, right? I used to not do that, but now I do. And so, and you can reach me anytime, and I'll be happy to help you. Okay. Before we get started, I have new t-shirts, right? I have a very, very, very limited amount of t-shirts. I think this is a breast cancer awareness shirt. The October theme, obviously, you guys know, is breast cancer awareness. And so I ordered some shirts. I had my guy, Cert King from Atlanta, from King's Prince. He owns King's Prince. And he made me some t-shirts. They have a breast cancer awareness logo on the front, the ribbon. And then the Charleston Dent Company logo is outlined in pink. It's a really, really well put together, well-made shirt. Very, very comfortable, and you'll like it. All you have to do is call me. I'll give it to you. I only have a couple of shirts left in each size. I might even be out of medium. But if I have it, you got it. Just call me. Okay, so here is the car that I worked on, and I want to show you guys how we took the dent out of a door. It is an Audi Q5 S.U.V. Right? And so when I first got the call, this customer said, "Hey, I have a small dent in my door." Now, automatically, when customers say it's a small dent, sometimes small to them is not small to me, because once you put our dent light on the door, it's a different story, which such was the case with this. All right. This is this was the dent that I was tackling in the door. It was probably 2 inches, maybe 2.5 inches in length, but it was so sharp, right? It was tough. And if a dent is too sharp, it will not come out, right? If it's too sharp, when you bring it up, it's going to crack the paint. And then it defeats the purpose of paintless dent removal, because then it has to be painted. And so we want to try to avoid that. All right, now what we have is a really, really sharp dent. All right, first things first that I'm going to do, I'm going to roll the window down, and I need to verify if it is laminated glass, or I forgot what they call it. It's a single pane glass, which is the basic glass, right? If it's the basic glass, we're okay. If it's the laminated glass, it's like it almost looks like two pieces of glass in there. You cannot put any pressure on that. In that case, the glass has to come out, right? But in this case, it was just a single pane glass, straight up, so it would hold pressure, right? And so the very, very, very first thing that I do is verify what type of glass is in it, right? And so then the second thing that I'm going to do is this is a window guard, right? It's metal, right? And it's felt on the back side of it. And I use this to protect the glass so we don't scratch the glass, right? So it goes down. This is the glass side. This is the outer panel side. It goes down in the door. We have a window wedge that goes down here, and it separates the glass from the outer panel so that we can stick a dent tool down in there, right? So this is a dent tool, right, that we use. It goes down in here, and we're putting pressure against on this heel here. It's going against the glass. It's pushing against the glass, and this piece right here is pushing against the metal or the outer panel, which I'm getting ready to show you. And theoretically, we should be able to get the dent out, right? So you see, I have the window wedges. I have the window guard. You can't really see that, but I have the window guard covering the glass so it doesn't damage the glass or scratch it. I have the window wedges that is separating the outer panel from the glass. And then I have the dent tool, right? It's down in there. And the part that you see is the handle, right? So this is the handle that goes on here. And then I'm able to, when I move it, right, it moves this heel right here, goes against the metal portion of the glass, the protector, and then this portion here goes right in the middle of the dent, right there, right? All right. So let's get into it. Setting up my light so I can see. All right. And here I go. Now, a lot of people ask me when you're dealing with a crease, this is it's a sharp dent in the middle, but it comes to be a crease. You couldn't see that without that dent light. When it was just outside, sun beaming down on the door, you couldn't see that it was a crease. But when I got it inside, I was able to see that it was a crease. And a lot of people ask me, well, how do you take a crease out? Do you start from the middle and work your way out, or do you start from the outside edge and work your way in? Well, it just depends on the type of dent that it is. Each dent, the applications are different, and the techniques are different of how you attack that, right? And so, but on this particular one, I'm starting on the right side, and you'll see I'm going to work my way in, and this is what's happening. So this is what I'm looking at, right? I'm looking at the light. I'm trying to find my tool, and this is what you would see if you were just in the shop looking at me, right? I'm taking the handle and pushing the heel of it is pushing against the metal. The tip of it is pushing against the dent. All right, and so we're going to speed it up here in a minute. What you'll see, I'm working on the outside edge on the right, and here I go here and speeding up, and I'm working it outside in. All right. Now, here you'll see it starts to get high, right? If you push out too much, of course, instead of pushing out, you're going to have to tap down, and you'll see that's what I'm getting ready to do now. These are tappers. I have about 10 different tappers, right? And so theoretically, let's say if this was a hammer, right? So I would take the tip of this tapper, I would put it on the high spot, and then obviously I'm going to bang it down, which you'll see in a minute. And so I need to tap the metal back down. This is a tapper as well, has a rubber top to it. I'll be tapping like that to try and get the metal back down, right? So that's what I'm doing here, tapping it back down, trying to get it back flat again, because the goal of paintless dent removal, right? The dent has the panel pushed inward, right? When you hit a panel, it gets pushed inward. The goal is to get the panel back flat, right? So if you're going to push up the lows and you're going to tap down the highs, and you want to make it flat again. And so that's what we're doing. That's all dent removal is, right? It's up too high right now, right? And I'm tapping down. And by the way, this video is sped up. It did not take 3 minutes to take this dent out. This video is sped up 500%, right? And so literally 500%. So I'm tapping down, right? And so it's still a little low spot right there that you see. All right. So now I got to come back in and push it back up. Once again, it's sped up, right? And I do have heat on this. You can't see it, but I have heat, continual heat from a heat gun, and it's continually putting heat on there. So it makes the panel, it makes the metal want to move easier, and then it also makes the paint more pliable, right? Because this dent was so sharp that if I did not apply heat, it was going to crack the paint, right? And so you see, it's up high again. I got all the lows out. Now I'm going to come behind it with a tapper. I need to tap it back down, which I'm doing here. Okay, now, once it gets to this point, the dent is done, right? Now, you see a little bit of stitching there, right? And so then the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to wet sand and buff. And once we wet sand and buff, it'll get rid of all of that stitching that you see right there in the middle, and it will come out flawless, okay? All right, so I'm moving my light so I can see it. All right. Okay, so next up, so this is a sanding block, right? This is the sanding block that I'm using. Okay, it's a flat. The reason why I don't use my finger, right? If I was to take some sandpaper and put some finger, is because my finger is going to go down in any type of valley that's there, right? So I'm going to use a sanding block. It's just a rubber piece. It's a piece of rubber that's flat, and I'm going to wet sand and buff, and we're going to wet sand the high spots that we've created, and smooth it out, right? So that's what I'm doing here. There is water on the sandpaper, all right? And so some people might say, hey, you're scratching my car or whatever. It's not. All right. I have a piece of on this block right here. There's a piece of 3000 and a piece of 2000. Right. I'll sand it down with 2000 first. Whoa, stop. I'll sand it down with 2000 first. Then come behind it with 3000. And then the next step would be to buff it out. And this buffer that I'm using, there's two types of buffers, right? And I'm no buffing expert. You might have some paint correction guys that are watching this that they want to say something. Well, I don't care. There's generally, for me personally, there's two types of buffers. There's a rotary buffer and there's an orbital buffer, right? The rotary buffer is one that goes continually. It's continually going one way. And generally what happens with a rotary buffer, if you don't know what you're doing, is it will create swirl marks in your paint, right? And it might look good in the shade, but then whenever you pull it outside and the sun hits it a certain way, you'll get a hologram or swirl marks, or whatever. And so, but this type of buffer, it's an orbital buffer, and so what it's doing, it is going in a circular motion, but as it's going in the circular motion, it's constantly moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and so it prevents or heavily discourages swirl marks. Okay, and what I'm using compound. I have 3 different heads that go on there, 3 different pads that I will use compound first, machine polish second, and then finishing polish third, then come behind it with a wax, so that even though with the white, you probably wouldn't see the swirl marks anyway, because white is a very forgiving color and is very generous, but it really, really matters whenever you're talking about a black car or a dark car. Okay, and so we wet sanded and buffed it, saw some stuff that I didn't like, come behind it, tap down some more, getting it right, and then this is what it's supposed to look like when your dent guy is done with it. Okay, all right. There's you will not see, you wouldn't see anything there if you tried. Okay, all right, and you'll see that it is back to factory finish, right? So that's what we got. That's what it's supposed to look like when we're done. You will not be able to see anything was ever there. Customer was completely happy with this repair, as they should have been. And okay, so let's go back. Bam. All right, so that is how the dent repair process works. And so hopefully you have a little bit of better insight on how paintless dent removal is done. The dent has the panel pushed inward. We go on the back side of the panel and we massage it up, right? Slowly, but it will come out, right? And sometimes you have to apply heat to it in order to get it, if it's too sharp, in order to get it right, because if you don't, it's going to crack the paint, and then it's not paintless dent removal at that point. So hopefully this helps you, and please check us out on the web, www.charlestonpdr.com. Check us out on Instagram at charlestonpdr.com as well, or charlestonpdr, instagram.com/charlestonpdr. Please check us out on TikTok. It's one of my favorite platforms. I have a lot of good stuff on there that you will really, really enjoy. Charleston_Dent_company, right? And if you need to reach me for any which reason, call me at 843-460-8458. And even if I can't do what you need me to do, if you have interior, if you have rim repair, or if you whatever, if you need a body shop, there's many body shops in town, many great body shops in town that we go to, and at any part of town. All right, I can point you in the right direction of whatever cosmetic needs you have for your vehicle. All right, please call me 843-460-8458. And last but not least, please like and subscribe to this channel. It greatly helps us. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of the week. And thank you for joining. See you soon. Thank you.